what's up, guys? It's your boy Nathan back with another State of Affairs video, actually, for the Northwest Derby, a special one. And welcome everybody who's watching, and also a debut entry to the channel. Nidhi, thank you for joining from the Menace and the Monk, obviously.
No problem,
Thank
dude.
you
Thanks
for
for having me.
joining us.
Thanks for
Um,
having me.
we've been talking for a while,
Yeah, yeah.
mostly food related things. I've been keeping an eye on the pictures. I enjoy
Yeah.
that. That is my escape now because I don't have Instagram anymore. I used to use Instagram only for food, as I was telling everyone yesterday. So yeah, I was seeing wherever you're off to in Bangalore and you're eating stuff. So and my favorite one is the one when you're stuck in traffic and you're trying not to murder people on the road. I see a lot
No,
of
dude.
that nowadays. A lot of pictures
No,
of
dude.
people
I think
complaining about that.
that phase lasted about 3 to 4 months when I came to Bangalore. But I'm telling you, now it's all it's nothing. It's basically look. I switch on either a podcast or music,
Yeah.
and I don't. I just stopped.
Or
I
that.
have stopped caring. The only time I say something, it's to the ministers, but I guess that is not a very popular thing to say. But
Oh
that
no,
is the only thing
not.
I say. I don't blame anybody but the ministers here because they do
Yeah, of course.
absolutely nothing to make things better. But we
Yeah,
all know that.
yeah. I mean, it's not popular to say, but we all know that. I
Yeah.
agree. The funny thing is, my friend is living there for a while now, and
Mhm.
he tells me it takes 1 hour to get to the airport. And I was like, it takes
On a
1 hour
good
to
day.
get to the airport. Yeah,
On a
he was
good
like,
day.
I have to go early. I have to go
On a
early, like
yeah.
real early.
Yeah. 1 hour is on a good day. If you
See,
leave
I
on a
mean,
Friday,
if you're doing satellite work, you can always move here. Yeah, every now and then, every now and then,
they
more
call me
than welcome
once
to
a
move
week
here.
at least here. That's why. Otherwise, I would have moved back to my hometown any day. I mean, think about it. I would have everything better there, but it's okay. We do work with what we have.
Yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, the trade-off. It's difficult to explain to people because a lot of people make
Seriously.
the sacrifice for the trade-off. But sometimes after a while, when you get to a certain age, the trade-off basically is not. Sometimes it cannot be worth it. After a certain age. But yeah,
True.
totally get. I mean, listen, man, no one can convince me to get out of here. People try. It doesn't work, sadly. So I can't. I understand the pleasures of home. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's different. Let's just put it that way. It's
Absolutely,
different.
dude.
I
Absolutely.
get it. So, how are you feeling? Before we get into the nitty gritty, how are you feeling about the game?
Nervous, dude. There's never. I don't know if it's the same for you, but Liverpool, Manchester United. I'll always be nervous about that game, no matter what happens. That's I think childhood conditioning also, because that this was usually our toughest game, and I think in a lot of ways it still is. Versus Manchester United. I think I'm always tensed. It's always a tensed game. Um, I don't know. Let's see what happens. How
Yeah,
you
I
feel?
definitely. I see. The thing is, see, I don't know how to explain this. I feel better now that a certain member of the team plays in Turkey. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Uh, I've been feeling better recently. I can't lie. But the thing is, I try to explain this to people. I guess we are of the same age group. It's like I don't know how to explain it better than this. But when Liverpool were crap, we still struggled to get a win.
Hmm.
So it's like when we were really good, we still struggled. It's not one of those things where the balance, the scales were always balanced for the Northwest Derby. I feel like we could win or lose every game. It didn't really matter what the teams were.
Yeah.
Now less so in recent history, I have to admit. I mean, it's the truth, isn't it? Like in recent history, especially Klopp, in particular, Klopp has got a lot of the ex-managers' numbers. To be fair, um, so I am always nervous about it, but I also try to explain it to people. I'm from the era where Liverpool and Arsenal were the games, not Man City, not Leeds. At least not for me. I watched after Leeds we have a relationship with Leeds, the
Yeah. Yeah.
Roses Derby. So I never really felt it that way. But for me, it was always Arsenal Liverpool. That's the thing that bothered me. Wenger with his I don't know how his the French accent never went away after like 30 years of being in England. And I used to watch the interviews and I go, God, he's annoying. That's about, like, even if he was being honest, even if he was giving a straightforward answer, I'd be like, man, he's so annoying, like so annoying to listen to. And yeah, so for me, it was always nerves there, especially Arsenal. Arsenal had such a, I mean, even when the golden team left, Arsene
Hmm.
Wenger had such a way of pulling out talent. It was quite intimidating, Yeah, so I share your sentiment and nervousness. And since we are talking about nervous, how do you feel? Obviously, I did a little troll job last week. I enjoyed myself.
Of
But
course.
how do you feel?
Why shouldn't
Three.
you?
No, but I found it funny because I really never thought I would say this, but how has Arne Slot lost three in a row and Ruben Amorim hasn't? That's the thing I was thinking about. I mean, it's it. I mean, you can't do anything. I'm so glad you're laughing because I feel like you can't do anything but laugh. Even if you're not a United fan, it's like it's hilarious when even if you're a neutral and you hear that statement, people would be like, "Has he really not lost three in a row?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, he's not lost three in a row. Actually, not." So, how do you feel about that?
Dude, listen. I- 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 I mean, we lost three in a row. That is the only thing I can say. But in all honesty, we deserve to lose all three games. Um, we were horrendous against Galatasaray. Honestly, I didn't watch the game. I was in Goa, by the way. When that game happened, I was in Goa.
Oh,
So I don't know after how many years I missed a game. But that was a game I didn't watch, and it was horrendous. I watched it later, and it was terrible. Against Crystal Palace, that first half itself is reason for me to believe we should have lost that game. Yes, we improved in the second half. We played well, but the that first half was absolutely horrendous. Same as Chelsea. Chelsea marginal improvement in the second half, but it was still a bad performance. So if you play like this, you deserve to lose. Firstly, there's no bad luck or there's no refereeing decisions. Yes, Galatasaray, that penalty wasn't a penalty and all that, but listen, we deserve to lose that particular game. It's not it's not like a big surprise that happened in that particular game. Same as Chelsea. Chelsea were knocking on the door. It was a surprise that in the first half itself it was only 1-0. Should have been at least 2 to 3-0. Same thing against Crystal Palace. Yes, people came off the bench. We scored. We drew the games. But I also feel maybe, and I'm hoping this is the case, that a shock to the system was in order because we've been playing not very well since the season started. I don't remember. So Liverpool has played what 10 games since the season started across different competitions,
yeah.
and we have not given a convincing 90-minute performance in any game. We've played well in phases. Second half, 15 minutes here and there. Second half, we've played well. Atletico Madrid was one game where I think we were the better team. But again, even in that game, the graph in the second half dropped a little bit. So I'm hoping this is that shock to the system because the way we played against Crystal Palace, Galatasaray, Chelsea, we didn't deserve to win the games.
What did you think about that goal in the Crystal Palace goal? Was that not handball?
Which one?
The cross went in. I don't know. From the angles I was looking at it, it looked like it touched his hand. The cross that
Salah's
came
hand.
in and then yeah.
So
Doesn't
what
it look
happened
like
in
that?
that? Yeah. So what happened in that particular passage of play was the Crystal Palace defender was also holding him back by
Pulling
pulling his
him.
shirt.
Okay. So his hand
So that's
moved
why it was
out.
not given handball. So he pulled his shirt, and that's why he put up his hand, and that is the
Um,
reason it was not given handball.
I don't know how you feel about this, but I can't stand the VAR. It's like they spend millions. I'm sure you know this, but when VAR was first instituted, everyone had to spend like millions and millions to set it up in each stadium that was in the Premier
No,
League.
no, no, Nathan. It's like you, let's say you kill someone with your car, and then I say, "Oh, I can't stand Hyundai." It's not. It's not the
Yeah,
technology.
of
The same
course.
technology is working well elsewhere. Now it's the
Yeah,
English referees. And look, it's I always say, dude, the English game refereeing is basically it's a Russian roulette. I mean, they
definitely.
load one and they turn the this thing revolver. and who gets shot what week is based on your luck. It's not I look, every team's fan will feel that they are screwed extra, but believe me, that is the thing. Everybody feels the same way about
Yeah.
the referees. So
Yeah, I
VAR,
think I think it's bad overall. I was just going to say our refereeing is way worse than probably every other top five league. I don't know.
no,
I
but
feel that
here's
way.
the thing: if you ask a La Liga fan, they'll say our refereeing is worse.
Yeah,
So there's no, it's,
that is true.
I mean, it's
That is
all
true. That
bad
is true.
everywhere.
No, I think what I was also thinking was they take so long, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but every time they do, especially for the offside,
Hmm.
the offside camera never ever seems to actually be in line with the lines. It's almost like they're behind, like at a little diagonal. And I'm like, wait, how much money has all these clubs spent that we can't get a straight camera angle of the last line? And I was
Hmm.
thinking to myself, it's almost like it's set up in a way where it can be questionable. Because you
Hmm.
notice every offside call, the angle never ever seems to be straight on. I don't know if you've ever noticed that about the side angle, the initial angle, not obviously when they zoom in with the graphics and all that. But if you notice, it always feels like they're slightly behind the players. And I'm like, bro, how do they spend so much money upgrading these VAR systems and they can't even get a camera to give a straight line? Like a photo finish we have in the Olympics, it's straight. Like I believe there's cameras all around the pitch. So I don't know. Yeah,
Because
the VAR is just frustrating, but in
the
general.
technology will only be as good as the people using it, right? So they for the longest time, they think they're doing a great job. They don't want to make things better. So what can you even tell people who think they've done no wrong? I mean, it's like this, right? I mean, if they think that, look, dude, if a player makes a mistake, there is a review system. If a player doesn't play well, there is a review system. What happens to the referees if they give wrong decisions? Oh, we are sorry, we apologize, and then what happens? Nothing happens to them, right? Human error. So they don't want to improve. They don't want to get foreign help. They don't want to get external
Mhm.
help. It will never improve because for improvement you need to accept that there is something wrong, right? They
Some
don't even
mistake.
accept there is anything wrong.
Like the one in the Brentford game where Colin should have been sent off. Like after we lose the game, people are like, "Yeah, he should have been sent off." I'm like, "But what is the real? We get nothing from that. That doesn't really help anything. There's no improvement." And after the fact, you're sitting there watching the referees defend it because I believe they do that thing after the match, right? Where there's always one referee there. I forgot. I think it was Dermot Gallagher.
Dermot Gallagher.
Yeah. And I was like, bro, stop covering for these people. You're
he's
retired.
the,
You just look
he's
like a
the,
fool covering for them. It's really sad
he's the
because you have not made the mistake and you're covering for a clear mistake, which is really terrible.
he's the Sambit Patra of FA, dude. It's-
I mean, it's sad, yeah. But whatever it is, we move on. We have gotten here somehow. We managed to survive. I mean, I enjoyed in the international break. I don't know about you. I watched zero football. I only watched UFC and WWE, and I enjoyed myself. I don't know what you did during the international break, but I enjoyed it. Plus, see, the fact that people type this in, no, it's almost like we know what's going to happen, which is kind of sad. But
Possibly, yeah.
yeah. So, what are your thoughts on slots so far? Give me the overall happiness. Do you like? I want to ask you one question before you answer that. Along with it, I could be wrong, but what
Hmm.
is this right back Zoboslai obsession? And the only reason I'm asking you that is I'm starting to enjoy every coach that plays a player out of position because now everyone understands how we feel. That's all
No,
I'm
no.
saying.
See, Sabotsalai at right back, see, against Newcastle, against Arsenal, that was a necessity because we had nobody who was fit.
Yeah,
Bradley was
of
injured,
course.
Frimpong was injured. The last 2-3 games, for example, against Chelsea in the second half, against Crystal Palace for a little bit, that was unnecessary. That was forced. That was not necessary. If you have a right back, play them at right back. Look, Sabotslai does a great job at right back. I'm not debating that. He's been, I think, our best player for this season, just with Virgil van Dijk. I think Virgil van Dijk and Szoboszlai have been our best players, but we need him in midfield. He plays well at in the midfield. Then you put him at right back, so the midfield gets empty, and it doesn't it bothers everyone. It is not good for anybody. So I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of Szoboszlai at right back. Not because he's a bad player, but it just disrupts everything else.
It basically uses it. It's not a effective use of the player, right? You always are handicapped somewhere else, basically.
Yeah, we are anyway struggling in midfield, Nathan. I mean,
Yeah.
Gravenberg ka
I
role
mean,
has
I
been
have to disagree. I think we are struggling in midfield. If we're going to use the word struggling, I feel
no,
we are
no.
struggling in midfield.
Our midfield is not at the pace that it used to be. So I mean, McAllister has not started the season very well. Last season also. Now the reports are coming out that he was going through something personal, and Slot told in the press conference. Slot said in the press conference today that he is one of the best players in the world. He will be back, which also gives me an indication that on Sunday he might not play. So the news is that he went through something personal, and then he did not play because he went back to Argentina. So now, obviously, so so n- so now, obviously, he. One second, Nathan.
No problem. No problem. I'll take some chance. No problem. Would you take a bet on Frempong in a big game or Zavozlai? If I'm as a United fan, I take a bet on Frempong. This is the dilemma of being a Manchester United fan. When our club doesn't give us that excitement of being a fan, we find it in other sports like Nathan watching WWE. Bro, I think that's the best thing I did for my own mental health. Enjoying other sports again. I think. Sorry, Nidhi, continue. You can continue, Nidhi. Yes, you were telling us about McAllister going back in Argentina.
Yeah. So McAllister apparently had some personal problem, and he came back, and he obviously this season he's not been at his usual self. Salah has not played well, also because we are trying to change Salah ka role. He's a lot closer to the touchline. Then you have issues like Kerkesko, we are not utilizing him at his best. Wirtz has not started. I mean, we expect more from Wirtz. So yeah, I mean, it's there are issues all over the park. It's not been a perfect start. Hopefully, we can get things right immediately.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's the first time. I mean, I know it's kind of irrelevant, but I also feel it's a little bit of an indicator for at least the casual fans who enjoy football. I think for me, at least personally, this is the first time I think in 3.5 years I don't have Salah in my FPL team.
Hmm.
Like I've never ever gone Salah Haaland over Salah. Like even if they had double game weeks, whatever, it didn't matter to me. I never really like picking Haaland. And I think
Hmm.
3 game weeks ago I finally made the switch, and I was like, I wonder. Like I mean, listen, yeah, FPL is nonsense in the grand scheme of things as a football fan. But I also was thinking about it in the sense of the fact that that many people are also selling him might actually indicate that it's not just it. You can slowly see him not for whatever reason get to the peak of his powers. Uh, I don't know. I feel like I don't know about you, but I felt like Mohamed Salah should have left on a high. Someone asked me at the beginning of last season which three people should have. They all their three contracts were running down, right? Virgil, Mohamed Salah, and Trent. People ask me how many of them do you think are going to stay. I actually said, according to me, based on like whatever we read throughout the year, the only thing that made sense to me was I thought Virgil is going to stay
Hmm.
because Sarah with the whole Saudi links, the trend thing. I don't know if you know this, Nidhi, but like there's a clip out there from the beginning of last year. I'm sure you've seen it, where Don Robbie basically tells AGT, who's a Liverpool fan on that DR Sports show. He's saying I saw Trent in LA like hanging out only with Real Madrid players,
Huh,
and
that.
and and I was just thinking to myself, is now obviously in hindsight going, was this always going to be a thing? And then when he spoke fluent Spanish, I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe it. Like I was like, there could be way more in this than I thought initially. And I don't know what you think, but I really did think maybe sometimes it's better to go off on a high. I don't know how you feel about that in sports, but I always think,
No, no. Look, I mean, last season every Liverpool fan wanted Salah to stay, and look,
yeah,
man,
of
it's a
course,
little bit,
of
it's a
course,
little bit of a, he's not performed well. But my point is this: if Salah performs at 70% of last season, he's the best winger in the Premier League.
yeah, yeah, of course, no doubt,
Nobody's touching
no
those
doubt about
numbers. Nobody's touching those performances. So
it.
I have no doubt that Salah will be back to his absolute best very soon. Um, I will, and secondly, uh, I mean, people are, see, the thing is, 8 incredible seasons,
Of
hopefully
course.
a ninth one. He's allowed to have a little bit of a blip. It's okay.
Of course, he's allowed to. I only look at it from the point of view where, how they say, no, if the hero lives long enough to be a villain, we are kind of seeing it a little bit with how
Not
people are
really.
feeling like with Bruno, which kind of infuriates me personally. But like I'm looking at it from that point of view. Sometimes, just leaving on a high, even if you don't want him to go, is sometimes probably better for the overall image of how you feel about a player, if that makes sense. But I mean, I can afford to say that, yeah, our greatest manager left on a high, our longest standing players left on a high. They all left on a high. So you go, sometimes you think about it and you go, maybe I also should leave on a high. Trent is also leaving. Maybe I should move. See,
Look,
it's very convenient for
eventually,
me to say because we benefit from Salah leaving, like as a rival fan. But I also think about it, it's like, why tarnish all that excellence you put in the first place, if that makes
it's
sense.
very, it would be, it would be very weird to say, I mean, and lose Salah on a free after a season like that.
That is
I
true.
mean, yeah.
I get it. I get it. I mean, listen, yeah, I mean, it would be great. Like the narratives are already creeping in. If he can just right the ship, it'll be another. He's done it again season, which obviously in the grand story as a United fan, it's not great, but in the grand scheme of things with sports overall, it always adds to the law of the player, especially when he's not active anymore. So yeah, I guess we have a lot to be nervous about. I mean, listen, you brought him up. I was going to leave it for the end, but just since we are on the topic, the curious case of Florian Wirtz, thoughts, comments. I mean,
He
I could
has
do
to.
the whole 007 thing, but I think we have already played that out now for a few weeks, so we can just move on from that.
No, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay. I mean, look, yeah, see, the thing is, I'll tell you what, when the, Florian Wirtz links first appeared, um, everybody laughed it off, including ourselves. We laughed about it as well, right? Saying, oh, no, this cannot happen. A lot of people think that Liverpool is not capable of making these transfers. इनसे होगा ही नहीं, इनकी औकात ही नहीं है. the 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 only difference was we chose to not make those transfers. We are in the top 5 now, the top 4 when it comes to making money. We are a extremely profitable club. Money was never a problem. Pool was never a problem. So now we made this transfer, which is obviously people have not liked that, because it like इन्होंने कैसे कर लिया, how the hell can they do it? And then because his season has not started very well, obviously people are going to pounce on that. That being said, Florian Wirtz has to do more. I mean, for running around and creating chances, you don't pay the British record fee, close to the British record fee for that. He has to start scoring goals. He has to start giving assists. He has to provide big performances, which has not happened, which is a fact, which has not happened. So, what do I think about it? I think eventually it has to happen. Too much talent for him to go completely waste throughout the season. But the longer this goes on, where he doesn't, because people don't look at performances, people just want assists and goals. I'm telling you, if Xabi Alonso played in this era, if
Yeah.
Michael Carrick played in this era, if Michael Carrick played in this era, people would have called him a waste. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
people
yeah,
would
of
have called
course. For
Carrick
sure.
a
For
waste.
sure. Yeah.
So I'm not saying that Wirtz is Carrick. I'm saying Wirtz has to start performing. He has to start putting in these performances. He has to, um, one big game. I mean, hopefully it is this game. A few times he's come close, but I think he overcooks or overthinks. It is a clearly a confidence thing. Because both against Everton, um, and against Everton and against Atletico Madrid, he had the chance to score, right? So and it will come. It will just take a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think. See, I mean, I was talking to Lala,
Hmm.
and Lala said, it's not his fault how much he's worth. I'm like, you know what? We could have done that with Anthony, Pogba, whoever else, and name a player, whatever, in whichever league. But
Hmm.
I would say this, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Nidhi. But I like you alluded to earlier about the problem of the reason I should say why Liverpool didn't spend.
Hmm.
I remember a lot of Liverpool fans going, "Man, we are so successful. We've been going so far. We've been getting racking up all this bonus money. Why are we not spending the money? Why are we holding on to it?" Right? And then this year, obviously, they didn't do that. They have spent the money. So what I told Lala, at least this is my opinion, is for a team that recently was doing so much with so little under, especially under Jurgen, so little might be a stretch. Obviously, it's not like he had no money, but what I'm trying to say is overall, if you think about in terms of other how other clubs spend. I told him, if you just think about it, go 3 years, 4 years ago, where fans were complaining about that. Only that they had no
Hmm.
problem with anything else. Just the fact that we're not spending the money, to bolster
Hmm.
our season's progress every year, the upcoming season. I told him, Liverpool doesn't seem like the club to me, at least right now, that would spend 120 something million on words and then go, the price is not on the players. It's not the fault of the player. If a club that is this deliberate on how they spend money will obviously think that player is worth the money, at least in recent history, right? That obviously we have all bought a dud. We have all overpaid for lots of players. So I told him it might not be the player's fault, but there must be something in the player that the football club has decided to pay that much money for.
Hmm.
So in relativity to that, it's not looking good. Would that be a fair statement to make?
As of now, yes, but it's been 10 games. You
Yeah, of course.
you don't write off players after 10 games.
No, no, you don't. But then, the reason I said that to him is because he was like the most overhyped player so far as Cunha. And then I was like, hold on a minute. If you're using the same logic of him not being valuable we paid half the money for Cunha, and he
Look,
actually has Premier League pedigree. No, no. So I was
I
just
can't answer for
that's where yeah, of course, that's where that point I brought up to you came from in
I
terms of
can't
the
answer
value of
for
a player.
Lala. I can't answer for Lala. I don't know his thought process. But I mean, it's taking time. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, the same. I mean, we might have paid half the price, but we were really hoping Cunha would, hit the ground running simply because he's familiar with the league and the opposition, and
Cunha
it's
has
not.
not
It's
scored.
not. He
Cunha has not
scored in
scored.
pre. He scored in a friendly, as we all like to say, it doesn't count. So we leave it at that. But he has. Mbemo, I'm very happy with. But yes. So anyway, to answer Drunk Grandpa's question. By the way, guys, any questions that I read, I will start it and then answer I'll ask Nidhi to answer whenever. Which part of the lineup you think has lost balance, Nidhi? What do you
Mostly midfield because McAllister has not been at it, so our pressing is not working that way.
think? Okay, fair enough. And the other question was Ekitike, Isaac, or both? Oh, God.
In tomorrow,
I
in
already.
Sunday,
Yeah.
I would start Ekitike, but I think he'll start Isak because he's been speaking about Isak quite a bit.
I mean, I told people, might as well get cooked. No, famous last words. I told people that I hope he starts Isaac because Ekitike scares me. And the reason I said Ekitike scares me is because he's the more unfamiliar quantity when it comes to us facing him. We have faced Isaac because obviously, Premier
Hmm.
League player. So for me, I was like, man, if he starts Ekitike, I'm gonna be really worried. And I've been very I think the best signing so far has been Ekitike.
Hmm.
Um, just to rile up Lala a bit. I told him I think the flops are good. I mean, listen, I didn't do it on purpose. And the only nice thing in my defense, I said
Uh,
it before a ball was kicked. So if it turns out to be true, no, at least I can be claimed, know that I wasn't trolling Lala. So I told Lala, see, Lala, I think based on what I've seen is, I think Isaac and Wirtz won't do well. And I think Ekitike is going to be your best side. That's what I told him. And luckily for me, I said it before a ball was kicked because now everyone's jumping on the 0-0 this, 0-0 that. I was like, thank God I said it in advance. So at least people won't think I'm trolling. There's something about him. Yeah. I'll be very nervous if Ekitike starts on Sunday. I mean, I'm already nervous. I'll be more nervous if Ekitike starts on Sunday. So yeah, I agree with you. But like you said, he's been talking about Isaac. I guess it's another, purchase pressure, that kind of thing where people will keep asking you about it. When's it going to happen? So he might be. But do you think I've heard Lala say this? I don't know if you have said it or not. But do you think they would play Ekitike on the left? Because I
not
don't think Gakpo's done so good. I mean that's
No,
what
no.
I've heard. I should say.
Yeah, he's not started the season well. I think at some point it will happen. Not on Sunday, but at some point it will happen.
Okay. So you don't think he's going to do that because Aditya asked, would they start both? You don't think he's going to start both, Isaac and
Not on
Ekitike
Sunday,
on
no.
Sunday? Okay,
Uh,
okay, fine, fair enough. So then, so basically, what do you think? What are you worried about? What are you? If It's such a weird question to ask based on last season, but what are you worried about? Because you did say you are nervous, right? What are you worried about when you're facing us, like
It's
in the current
the
squad?
it's the biggest game in England. Of course, nervous about how we have started the season, how we have performed. There is a certain amount of nervousness. Manchester United, however crap they are playing, they raise their game against us. So that is the thing. If we can't have four losses in a row, and this one will be a big one if we lose. So those are the things.
Any players you're particularly worried about?
I think Mbuemo is playing really well for you guys. Mbuemo is one player who's. I think Cunha is a player who hasn't scored and all, but I think he's a good player. Uh, these are the players. Obviously, if you put Van Dijk, pull Van Dijk out of position, then your attackers can find a little bit of joy. So those are the things.
All right. And why is Chiesa? Why isn't Chiesa playing?
Yeah,
Or
this is a
rather,
big.
what is going on? I've read that a lot on Twitter. Just random people
This is a
airing
big
out
mystery.
frustration.
I would have started. I mean, I've been saying for a long time that Chiesa should start a few games. He should play a few games. I mean, he since the time he's joined Liverpool, he averages a goal or assist every 77 minutes, and he's hardly played. He's hardly played. So and whenever he plays with like full effort. He gives his 100%,
Okay.
scores, assists, he does everything, and still he doesn't get chances. Obviously, he's not very high up the pecking order when it comes to the kind of attackers especially because we got Isak and Ekitike both, so he doesn't feature very high up in the pecking order. I would like to see him play a few games there. I would definitely want to see him play
Don't
because
you
he
don't
played
you think
well.
don't you think he should rest Salah? I mean, Salah's not. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he always a right winger? Like,
No, no, Chiesa can play both wings. I mean, for
so
Juventus
shouldn't
also
he shouldn't
last
he
year,
replace Gakpo? Shouldn't he basically
he
shouldn't he
should,
be in the team? Okay.
100% he should. I mean, especially for example, against Chelsea, he should have substituted Chiesa for Salah because Salah was not playing well. But I guess this was one of the things that I don't understand.
So, do you think this is one because we are going facing a similar issue with we can't understand why some of our players don't get a chance to based on how terribly
Kobe
we are
Mino.
performing. Kobe Mainu, I mean there are others honestly, but Kobe Mainu is the one that comes to mind for most people, especially after last season. But I don't understand. I feel like nowadays managers tend to. I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like sometimes they try to overthink too much. Would
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would that be fair?
clearly,
Overthink, right?
clearly.
I mean,
Clearly,
there was
as
there were times where we would get Welbeck off the bench, we would get Makeda off the bench. We just get someone off the bench. We needed an attack, we needed a goal. We just get someone off the bench. Yeah, we have
look,
five substitutions now, and
look, dude,
Chiesa can't get a sniff. It's incredible.
dude, Nathan, I'll say one thing. Just look at the questions, and I'm not taking a shot at the question. I'm just saying,
Yeah, yeah,
look at
sure.
the questions. Liverpool are 1 point off the top. 1 point.
Yeah.
If it was United, if it was Chelsea, if it was Tottenham,
Mhm.
everybody would be like, can United win the title? Can Tottenham win the title? Can Chelsea win the title? And Liverpool are done. Like, look at the questions. It's like nothing is working for you. You guys are doomed. You
Yeah, I
like
mean,
you are absolutely shit. So look, if
of
this is
course.
what hell feels like, 1 point of the title, 1 point of the top, I'll take it. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
of course.
I mean, for all you know, a lot of things can change.
Yeah.
If it was, and people, and then if we are arguing about double standards, then people call us media darlings. What kind of media darlings are we? If United were in this position, no, people, United fans would be jumping up and down. Can we win the title? Is it our year? 1 point off the title, off the top, and look at the amount of comments.
Yeah, of course. You know what I think it is. Maybe
Take
you might
second.
not agree.
First of all,
Hmm.
no, no, no. Sorry, please continue.
No, no, please finish your thought. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Please,
No,
I'm
no,
sure it's
and see,
yeah.
and now everybody will be like, no, 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 nobody is saying that. Everybody here who's not a Liverpool fan is saying that.
To be fair, it's the small pleasures in life, Nidhi. Yeah.
I know, I
It's
know, I
the
know, I
small
know,
pleasures.
I know, I know, I know.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen. Yeah, I mean, listen. I get trolled by my own chat. So, like, what can I what can I tell you? I get that my Real Madrid subscribers come in. Thank you for Alvaro Carreras. Every week I get it. Every week I get it. What to do? It is what it is. It's fun. Um, Sorry, Dhruva Jyoti is saying if Konate is absent for you guys and keeping in mind Joe Gomez's injury record and your academy, can slot fit Endo in as a backup centre back because he doesn't trust him in the Gravenberch number 6 role?
He is one of the options. Apart from that, you'll have to go to the academy. So Amara Nalo, all these players are available. But outside of that, yeah, it's. I mean, Endo is the only option. If
Yeah.
Gomez and Konate are not available, then it's Gomez. Then it's Endo. Sorry.
I think Nidhi should be see, I told you, I was telling you. I think Nidhi should be concerned about Harry Asim as the biggest threat, isn't it, Nathan? See, Harry Maguire, because so there's a running thing where he makes the first change or the second change is always Maguire. Even if
Hmm.
we're winning, even if we're losing, it's always a defensive change. So yeah, of course. But can Kirkes negotiate the threat of Mbeumo and Ahmad? Actually, I wanted to ask you about Kirkes. When you signed him, I was like, oh my god, they've got a really really good left back. This is disastrous for us. We've got Dogu and Dallo, and I was like, I- correct me if I'm wrong. Do you feel that he is? I do. I have whatever watch-alongs I've done. I have found him to be really maybe overtly rash. Would you think that is a fair assessment? Because I've seen Slot like look at him and go, bro, what are you doing? Are you trying to get sent off? He's like Robertson. Come on down, dude. This guy's he's a liability right at this point. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, he's over eager. I think he rushes into challenges a little bit
Yeah.
too. I don't know, nervousness or eagerness to perform. I don't know what exactly. I also think we are not using him in the best way possible because Kerkez is good when he's running up and down. That's where he's most effective. Instead, what we are trying is to make him a third back.
Yeah.
So because of which that instinct of running ahead is not being used. So I think it's a mix of both things. I think he's not being used in the right way yet, and also I think he's maybe the pressure or a confidence thing. Something is there.
Yeah, I think he's just it seems very over eager. And of course you'd understand, yeah. You'd understand it. You're replacing a in my opinion, I've always been a person who prefers Robertson over Trent. People in the chat will know that for sure. I've always liked Robertson. I enjoy tenacious defenders because, I don't know, I've always enjoyed that. Maybe I come from a time when tenacious defenders were fun to watch. So I always enjoy Andy Robertson. And I mean, listen, it's tough filling those shoes in recent history. I mean, let's be honest. People are saying he's waning in his powers, and I'm like, I'm not believing any of that. Is he prime
No,
Andrew Robertson? Of course not. But that doesn't mean he's waning off. In fact, I was on UD's channel 2 days ago, and I told him, man, Ashley Young's playing at 40. Like, you can't just wane off like that. He's too good. He's not just going to wane off his powers.
no,
That's
he is
simply
not.
because got a new left back. So, and I'd
He's
say I say it's a testament to Slot because Slot is trusting him. When he finds Kirkers too rash, he's like, you need to be benched, son. Come on, watch how the legend does it. You know. So
he's not at his best, and we do need to move on from him. Look, of course he's not become a bad player, he's still a great player, but if you have to win the title against the likes of Pep Guardiola and Arsenal, the way Arsenal are playing, Robertson will not be able to sustain for 38 matches. Let's put it that way. Earlier prime Robertson would, this Robertson is physically not there. So that is the thing. Yeah, he's still a great player, don't get me wrong, but we need to plan for life after him. But that's why Kirkes
of
has been
course,
bought.
yeah. Kirkers is held back by Slot. I mean, very few. Yeah, like I mean, Nidhi did say that, right? Nidhi said that's what he's not using him to his full strength. Um, I believe this is accurate. What Aniket's saying. I believe you said it earlier.
Yeah.
What good did Liverpool do at Anfield last year because they were really good? I mean, I don't know how Nidhi feels about it, but I feel like we took the game to them in moments. But I think the main thing is we were just trying to be as defensively solid. 10 players, 10 on 11 is not fair, as I always like to say. We start every game off with 10 players, so it was tough. One side's Allison, the other side is a.
Hmm. Onana, right? Onana played in that game, right?
And I don't even want to say his name. I was just going to stop at her, but sure.
Hmm.
Let's say there was, and I think I've said this so many times. I trust 10 players. I trust 10 players in our team when we watch games. But yeah. So I think that's what I think. I think we did take the game to you a little bit. I mean, I was even shocked, quite honestly. I thought we would be mostly defensive. And I think honestly, in the grand scale of things, I think we deserve to get a point out of it. I didn't think, in recent history, we have played historically very bad against you. So what did you think? What do you think we did good when we showed up last
Defensively
time?
very solid. Like you said, didn't try to defend completely, or not didn't try to go attack mindlessly. Yeah, definitely. I think that those were the two main things. And secondly, I think Amad Diallo played that game very well.
Yeah. I mean, that's speaking of curious cases, that's another curious case. Says, yeah, keep Shaw in Manchester, we'll be good to be honest. Frimpong? Okay, yeah. So, as per Anish Slot, conceding set pieces are still behind Arsenal by 1 point. It ain't that bad. Do you think United have players to hurt Liverpool in that area in set pieces?
Yeah, I mean Sesko. You have
We just
players
don't. We
like,
just don't. But we don't cross enough to begin with. So, I don't think we are strong at set pieces. To be honest, in the last 2 years we have improved gradually, but I mean I don't think we are good at set pieces offensively or defensively. I hope somebody is
yeah,
holding on
but
to a
I
Virgil
mean, if,
in the
yeah, but
corners.
the question is if you have players to hurt us. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but not by set pieces, right? Because he was talking about Slot conceding. So I don't think we are going to. I personally don't think we are going to hurt you through set pieces. I can't see it. The fact that we cross an abysmal lower percentage for the last who knows how many years. I mean, there was this. We have this whole argument in chat every time where when Hoyland came on the pitch, we would not cross, but as soon as Hoyland would get off the pitch, we'd start crossing. And when Sheshko came, we were like, okay, at least the crosses are going to come in. The crosses have not really come in my opinion, not frequent
Hmm.
enough. So set pieces, I don't think, if I'm being very honest, I don't really think we have a really good set piece taker. I see Mbeumo taking it now. Obviously, he took it at Brentford a lot. He is good. We had Ahmad, who used to take all of them at Sunderland. But the thing is, I think as soon as they've come here, the load has been shifted to various players. Mount takes some if he's on the pitch. So I feel like there's not enough rinse and repeat practice for us to be deadly at set pieces. The way, especially the way Arsenal is, they have that whole thing, where they stand somewhere completely away from the defenders, and then they start running in from one side, and we don't have anything like that. If we score one, we'll score one, but it won't be out of how should I put this? Out of mastery of set pieces. I don't I
Hmm.
don't think I don't think it'll be through that. Um, I believe Nidhi also answered which players. I believe Nidhi said Mbeumo. You said Mbeumo, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Players that will hurt. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of narrative. Yeah, there's a lot of narrative. I still think media loves. I mean, nowadays, especially United, they love pouring gas on the fire. But I feel like Liverpool and Manchester United have always been critiqued heavily. I don't think that is. I mean, I
Look
suppose
good.
the it depends on what they critique, but I'm sure we have been under critique for the longest time now. You know,
And look,
it
dude,
comes with.
honestly, I told you, right? I'm trying to get myself off Twitter. One of the reasons
I
is
didn't. I'm
people
sorry,
will,
I didn't know, by the way, because I
yeah,
kept messaging you on
yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, yeah.
If
So
I knew,
that's
I
why,
would have just
yeah,
asked
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Because people will read any crap on Twitter. Apparently, there is some report by Athletic where they have called Benjamin Sesko as the
Yeah,
worst
yeah.
signing.
The so it was a survey by 20 what is it called, anonymous agents that have Premier League players, and I was like, bro, it's an anonymous survey. It's like
So
whatever.
you
Yeah.
are angry about that, and you are taking that anger out on me. Did I make that list? Did I
I
say
mean, to
Sesko is
be
the
to
worst
be
signing?
fair, Isaac and Wirtz is on that list. I
Huh, I
mean,
don't care. I don't care.
yeah.
But for a Man United fan, oh, the media is biased. Did Liverpool publish that? Did Liverpool write? Did a
I
Liverpool
mean,
publication write that article? Who's written that article? And if you are angry about it, approach them, target them. You that's the thing, right? That's the thing with Twitter.
yeah.
Another thing is people will read any crap. Oh, Isak 004. Isak gave an assist in the last game, you dumb. Matlab, match
Oh
dekhta nahi.
God.
That's the thing, right? You don't watch anything. You don't watch the games. You'll talk bullshit. Isak has scored. He's assisted already. But that's the thing with Twitter. I think Twitter has overall, and especially from the time that Elon Musk has decided to
Yeah.
monetize it. It's basically, I mean, it's just a low IQ mosh pit. That's what it is. So I can't answer for people who voted Sesko as the worst signing. I have not seen that report. I have not published that report. Liverpool is not related with that report. So if you are angry about it,
Yeah.
approach them.
Yeah. Also, I also try to tell people because people were really upset and they came on the chat. I'm like, listen, see, take it with a pinch of salt. These are the things I know. Athletic have done it anonymously because they use those same agents to get information as the years go. So they are going to make it an anonymous survey to begin with. The second thing I would say is there might be credibility in the survey simply because they're behind a paywall. Once people start finding out that you're basically bullshitting them, they will stop paying for your service. They will. So I'm sure there is some credibility in the survey itself.
Dude,
However, like
I
going
unsubscribed
after
to Athletic
fans
a
for
long
it,
time
it
ago.
makes no sense. But no,
Yeah.
what I was basically trying to say is going after fans when it's very clearly saying managers who have players in the Premier League, I mean agents who have players, like it doesn't really make sense. Now you could say, wow, most of those agents could be for Liverpool players. Yeah, but it's not like the Liverpool players are telling them to put the United player up on the list there. So yeah, so I found it funny. I don't dismiss it necessarily simply because I think that paywall, they wouldn't play with their own money. It would be a very stupid move to do. At least I think so, because especially when you're behind a paywall, it would be really ill advised to do such a thing. That being said, the reason it is anonymous is because they obviously use those same people for information later down the line. It was a very strategic survey, in my opinion. Somebody was going to get pissed off. I have no doubt about it. If Wirtz were had 6 votes out of 20, I am 100% sure some Liverpool fans would have gone crazy and been like, "Oh, this must be Everton and
That
United
would
and
be,
City Imagine doing the
yeah,
same thing."
that would be like a Liverpool fan catching your neck and saying, "How is he the worst?" How can
Yeah,
you answer that question?
it is. It is. It is. Will VVD negotiate with Sheshko or Gomez? Will take care of him and VVD to take responsibility for ball playing.
Van Dijk will have to play. He will be the guy who will play the ball. He's
If I'm
our
not mistaken, I think Sheshko will probably target the weaker defender. I mean, the weaker defender simply because it would benefit him. But I have a feeling, especially when we go long, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, it is on the side of it's mostly on the side where Virgil is. So I think BVD will have to definitely negotiate the long balls for sure.
Absolutely.
So that's what, yeah. I mean, listen, yeah, I get your frustration though. For me, like I said, I watch people eat food, so like I don't have to deal with any of this shit. I'm kind of bummed out you don't post food pics. I was like, bro, where's the food pics? Like, that's all I want to see.
I'm off Twitter, bro. I'm not gonna
I
use
get
that.
it. I get it.
The hell
I,
site.
I I understand. I understand. I get it. The reason I use Twitter, I tell people so many times, the reason I use Twitter is because I'm not on Instagram. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I think Instagram kind of benefits me because I can just see food videos all the time, and I actually would work out for me better. But I said I'm on Twitter now, might as well use it. You're already here. If you give time, the story always ends with the same with me. And this guy, man. I mean, he's going to get clapped tomorrow by Chelsea. He is unbearable, yeah.
Yeah,
Ange lives in a different universe. Yeah. I have to give it to him. I have to give it to him.
I
Really.
like I like Ange Postecoglou, but he's making it very difficult for himself and other people. I like Ange Postecoglou. I think his ideas are right, but just I don't know, just too stubborn. Ek to this Nottingham Forest job, honestly, I think he should not have taken it with such a mercurial, with such a trigger happy owner. I think it was bound to end in tears, man.
Yeah.
He should not have end like sacking Nuno itself was like I don't know why he did that. But obviously they don't get along, so that was the
He no,
reason.
apparently he does. He didn't listen. This is all hearsay as usual
Yeah,
because we'll never
exactly.
know the truth until the end. But apparently he had a problem with Edu. I'm like, bro, Edu just got there. Nuno's doing all the work. You picked Edu over Nuno. I mean, here we are sacking Ashford, we are sacking all, we are sacking all those people, and we keep your coach here. Your coach is taken a 17th place Finnish team that survived because Luton just dropped off towards the end. You survived it, and this man gives you Europe, and you sack him over Edu, and I'm like, bro, this is crazy. And yesterday we were doing the preview. I'm like, I think Marinakis is going to start crying in a Souvlaki soon because I mean, this was a disastrous decision by him. It's unbelievable,
Dude,
and
Ange
just so much money,
Postecoglou
man.
And Ange Postecoglou is a coach that requires like at least the preseason and all. His training, we've seen it at Spurs, right? The idea, see, it's like this. When Spurs used to win, it was absolutely amazing to watch. Even as a neutral fan, or even as somebody, let's say, like an
Yeah.
Arsenal fan, let's say, who doesn't like Spurs and they don't have any vested interest, they'd still enjoy the performance. But when it's bad, it's really bad. That's the thing with Ange, that high line and that pressing for a lot of times no reason. It's very difficult to for players to get to used to that style. That too, mid season you're asking players to get used to that style. And let's not forget, Nottingham Forest have invested a lot of money. So for them to finish lower down the table, I mean, if they get into a Spurs kind of a situation where they finish 17th and all, they lose a lot of money, dude. Like Spurs, dude, 17th is bad. Like, I mean, do you know how much money you lose when you finish 17th?
What is
Forget
it? What is it? It's every 4 million, every
Yeah, yeah,
step,
yeah.
every
It's a
place up, you get
staggered thing.
another
It's a
4 million.
staggered thing. So you receive very less money. So that's the reason he got sacked from Spurs, right? It wasn't because of anything else. It's just because Spurs lost out on a lot of money. And if you look at the ownership structure of all of these clubs, your club, Liverpool, everybody involved, we don't have, andha paisa na. Yes, we are rich clubs, but we are also clubs that are set up on the basis that you will qualify for X competitions every year, and that will bring this amount of revenue, and the minimum you'll finish is here, so this much revenue is maintained. So for Nottingham, they don't even have that kind of global fan base which will sort of shore them up if they don't do very well in a particular season. They don't have that kind of global support. So and they have invested very heavily into the squad. So these things can backfire very badly. But dude, we all know about Marinakis. It's not like he's known to be a very thoughtful person, somebody who thinks things through. So it's just being
I mean, I
very,
appreciate
very,
his passion. Yeah. I mean, God knows, I would love a manager. I would love an owner with that kind of passion. Yeah.
dude.
Every win last season, it was so cool to like him standing in the tunnel, like hugging everyone. I'm like, see, of course,
Passion
not
alone,
without flaws, not without flaws,
passion
of
alone
course,
is
but I
not
would love
enough.
that.
Passion alone is not enough. No, every dead body on Everest was once a very passionate person. So you need planning and passion, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's true. I mean, no, but what I'm saying is like, coming from owners where they just show up if we are in an FA Cup final, or
Yeah,
if they show up because they live close to the stadium. It's
yeah.
like when you see this man stand in the tunnel, not outside, unless he went to scream at Nuno last season. He stands in the tunnel and he hugs everyone. I'm like, bro, this guy's a billionaire. He's hugging these people like like they're his sons after they won a match. And I'm like, this is cool. Yeah, this is like what it's all about. And last season it was like cool to see. Then he came out, screamed at Nuno, and then we all of us were really confused. What's happening here? Then this season, this happened. Like someone said, Nuno didn't want that many players, bro. But I'll be honest, Aniket, Nuno was right. Nuno performed with the players he had.
Nobody wants those many
You listen,
players.
you listen to him because tomorrow, if there's a better player out there, then you can buy that better player. He wanted Adama. Nuno wanted Adama Traore, because obviously because they lost space with Elanga, right, for the right hand side, and they got Hutchinson and Luis. Now, no offense to Omari Hutchinson, but if you want, you would at least try and get a Premier League player after all that success last season. Douglas Luiz has flopped at Juventus. Why would you invest in players that are relegated and been removed from their teams? You would obviously go for a team. I mean, I hate using the word, but steady Eddie. Adama Traore is nothing special, but he's definitely more proven than Hutchinson, especially on the wing. So after I perform, I ask you, please give me one player. They're like, no, I'll get you two players. I'm like, but that's not how he functions, right? Because it's a
Hmm.
waste of money. And he already has a core midfield. Dude, I would not remove Yates and Anderson. Ever since they've come up, Yates in particular has been there since they've come up. Yates is the captain, isn't he? I'm not going to get rid of my captain because you bought somebody from Juventus. And Anderson, I mean, terrible mistake by Newcastle, but where is Douglas Luiz going to go? He can't even play in a struggling Juventus team. Like struggling relatively, obviously. Keep in mind, please, before anyone comes for me, they won eight Scudettos in a row. They are currently struggling in relativity to what they used to do. Before anyone comes for me and go, they finish third or something. Okay, so why would I? I wouldn't want Douglas Luiz. And look at our midfield, dude. Like wouldn't want him because if he doesn't work out in Italy, he's not going to work out here. What for whatever reason? It's allegedly personal. I don't care. I don't want him at my club. So that's how I felt about it. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. It was nice talking about all this. I am very glad that we had this discussion. It's been a long time coming, and I think we'll proceed through the predictions. Just before you give me your lineup and predictions, someone Charles has said Manchester United have had a better start. I don't even know how this works, but has a better start to the season than the league table is showing. Bro, I don't know what Arne Slot's watching. I'm sure it's mind games, but I don't know what he's watching if he believes that.
I haven't read the statement. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know either. I'm just taking the quote here. I don't exactly know when it was said, but listen, I anyway was going to chalk it up to mind games. Pep does this with literally everybody, so we are used to it. We are used to watching managers play mind games, especially for the big matches. But Yeah, thoughts on Saw saying, oh wow, okay, wow, that's the second person saying this. Okay, interesting.
I need to read it. In what
Yeah,
context?
let's not comment on it. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, Charles, he has added his thoughts on Wirtz and Isaac. If you want to sum it up quickly, Sweden horror show. Sorry, we haven't talked about
I
the
didn't
Kosovo
know
incident.
Isak. I didn't know Isak played for Sweden alone.
Apparently, I mean,
I didn't know it was a team where Isak alone was playing. Yeah.
it was crazy. They should still be
Charles is
Kosovo.
most likely the kind of person who will go to on an Arsenal stream and put this same thing about Gyökeres.
No,
So
actually, to be fair to Charles,
free pass from
we,
media.
we,
Free pass from media.
you know what?
We don't get
But
a
to
free
be
pass from media. You.
but to be fair, did he play? Did he see the Kosovo game? I didn't. I got the
I
news
don't.
later that.
I in the international break, I will watch football only if India is playing. I don't watch international football to me unless it is Euros, World Cup,
Yeah, yeah,
all those things. Afcon and all, and otherwise I don't watch it.
yeah. I mean, listen, I have separate reasons for not watching international football, but I agree with you. I agree. What's your
Not to
take
not
on Yildiz?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Not to say the Indian team watching the Indian team play also did not do me any good, but that's a separate issue.
it's a very separate issue.
Yeah.
Um, what's your take on Yildiz if we move on from Menu, which I'm having a gut feeling, bro? People are hammering him out. If Menu sold, forget. No one will care that Yildiz comes into our team because no one will get over the fact that we sold Menu. Trust me. No matter what people tell you, if he scores 5 goals in a row in 5 matches, no, people will still say we would have kept Menu. So I'm telling you right now, what's your take on Yildiz? Last time, I don't know when's the last time a Turkish player came to Manchester United and played well. I'm pretty sure Pioneer is our first Turkish player. So I'm not very confident about Turkish players playing in our club at least.
I don't think they are selling Yildiz.
Also, that all I'm sure they're not either. So yeah. Will you do I assume this question's for you because I don't watch a
No,
lot of different football.
no.
You're not watching. So yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, the narratives make it fun. It's because I don't know about you, Nidhi, but I enjoy the narrative simply because I know we are living rent free somewhere. Somebody's head we're living rent free. So I always kind of take it a bit like a compliment. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, these people have woke up today morning, they've put on their suits, they got their makeup on, and then they're talking about us. It's nice to be popular, sometimes, Nidhi. I look at it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll wrap it up now. I've taken enough of your time. We have bantered enough. We have circled around the banter. I'm actually very surprised. I'm very surprised we have circled around the banter. I think it's evidence of how nervous we both are of this game because I am very nervous. I am always nervous, especially after in light of the drubbings we have got in recent history. I am probably more nervous in this match than any City match they can mention. So, what do you think your line? Okay, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? What lineup do you want to play? What lineup do you think Slot wants to play? How do you want to do this?
I see. I'll tell you my lineup first. Mamardashvili, Connor Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Kerkez, Gravenberg, Sabotsalai, McAllister, Salah, Ekitike, Florian Wirtz. This would be my starting lineup. But I think what will happen is Gakpo will play, and I think McAllister might not start this game. So Wirtz will be in the midfield, and yeah, those will be the two changes. And Isak will start. I think Isak will start.
I mean, I'm almost nervous to go through this lineup because it's definitely not going to be picked. So we might as well do it anyway.
Hmm.
Uh, Lamens, Dallo, and Dogu. Mazraoui is not fit. I would go Delict, Euro, Shaw because he's not going to play Heaven. The midfield, I would prefer to go. It'll be Fernandez, Casemiro. In the 2 10s, I think what I want is Mount and Mbeumo, but I think he's going to start Cunha and Mbeumo. And up front, Sheshko. Sheshko won't be changed. He should start Sheshko just to put pressure on the centre backs for the long balls. I don't know, yeah. I don't. We made a That was a great error in buying so many tens, especially when you're not using two of them, which is
Hmm.
kind of ridiculous to me. But
Hmm.
yeah, the midfield's going to be overrun. Yeah, we do this every week. We sit there and we watch our midfield two get overrun by somebody's midfield three. People go, yeah, but Glasner plays a back three. This team plays a back three. I'm like, it's a back three, but the way they're shaped is different. There's always a person in the middle of between the two double pivot, whoever that person is, or they move across the field, and there is a three in the midfield. There's going to be no three in our midfield, whatever our formation is. For me, I'm fed up. I call me old school Nidhi, but I enjoy a good four back formation. That's all I'll say
Hmm.
about that. Um, yeah, so that will be my lineup. What do you think is the prediction? What is your prediction?
I don't predict Liverpool games.
Hey, come on, yeah. Now, yeah, this is your
Yeah,
first
it's
time.
a
You're on debut. Come on.
no chance, no chance. You can't
You're not
get
going to
that
say
out of
I can't be the only. No, no. Honestly, it's
you.
not getting it out
I
of you. I get it
no,
out of
no.
everyone.
I
But
don't. I
yeah.
do a I do a Premier League prediction every stream every Friday, and I don't predict Liverpool
Same.
games. It's a superstition. It's
Oh,
a
so okay. So you don't predict the games period at all. It's
no,
not
no.
not
I will
West Ham.
predict
Okay.
other games. Liverpool games I don't predict.
Okay. Fair enough. Let me put it this way. Do you favor yourself? Do you think it could be end in a draw? Is there any way
It's
you're leaning? Any kind of way you're personally leaning to?
it's a superstition. Look, I
Oh,
mean,
so okay.
of course, I'll back Liverpool. I'll never not back Liverpool. But prediction itself, that's just it's not logical. It's just superstition. There's no logic in superstition, dude. It's just superstition.
Okay, fair enough. Before we go, so Charles is saying Isaac was not alone, neither was Gyökeres, but Isaac was the captain. That's interesting. The Swedish captain is Isaac? I don't even know who plays for Sweden anymore. So for me,
My
it's all news. But coach got sacked. Not
what
one
the,
statement of accountability.
here's a question. First of all, I think
No,
somebody's
I
already
actually I did you know I only brought it up back. I read it, but I brought it up back. Wait, did you know the coach got sacked after his statements? Because that I found interesting. That's why I brought it back up.
why so you are not here to bash anyone. You there's nothing to troll, but you are interested in Sweden. You are trying to tell me that suddenly sitting in India you are so worried about Sweden and what Sweden does and what happens to Sweden. Name one player from the bench, right? So this nonsense of I'm not here to bash anybody and everything is just, look, dude, it's
Ah,
okay.
okay,
You
fair
want to have
enough.
a good, just say he had a bad game, and I, as a Manchester United fan, I enjoyed it. I will like that more. This drama of, I'm not here to bash anybody and everything, that is, look, bro, people can see through.
No,
Who's
fair
the
enough. Who's
who's the coach of Sweden? And anybody who cannot answer that in the next
so
30 seconds would
oh,
have
okay, I
Googled.
know. Okay,
I
I
don't know.
know. I know.
And I'm not
No.
going to
Oh,
pretend
oh,
that
you don't know. Oh, okay.
I
I'm
don't
going
know.
to tell you. I thought you were asking me, so I was going to tell you. The reason I
Huh?
found it weird is because their coach is John Dal Thomason. So I was like, that's a little bit interesting to me. Just because, John Dal Thomason is the coach, I found it. I mean, I was curious. The only reason I asked you is because I saw a
So
lot of people talk about the Sweden game like it was some kind of, oh my God, Sweden lost. I'm like, I don't really think Sweden's that strong of a team. But then they said they lost against Kosovo, and I was like,
I think
there it is.
we should have this kind of worry and this kind of concern about India. Maybe we should ask those
Yeah,
questions about India. Maybe things will improve.
fair enough.
Not here to
Fair enough.
bash and troll. It seems. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought Iceman was the captain of Sweden as well. That's why even I was a little shocked about that, Victor Lindelof. But yeah, okay, so fair enough. I mean, that's why even I was confused when you said Isaac was captain for a second. I thought Lindelof is still the captain, but yeah. Anyway, fair enough with that. So I guess I that leaves me alone on an island here to make the prediction and take the L if I have to, because what to do. That's part of the game, at least for me. Um, I this is going to be bad. I think we can do enough to get a draw. I don't see us winning the game. I simply don't see us winning the game. And a lot of I was on Yudi's channel and he was like, "Man, you have to be more confident. You have to be up for the game." I told him, "Listen, dude, I would love to be up for the game. There's just no evidence to be up for the game. There's no evidence. Like you want me to pretend and give you a score, I'll give you a score. We are winning 3-0. We are going to sit in the stands and celebrate after 3-0 after the Liverpool fans start leaving the stadium empty. I mean, I can give you any kind of prediction. But the reality is I can only see us get a draw. My prediction, I'll keep it consistent because I did the prediction yesterday. And on his channel for the game, I said 1-1. I said I can't see us not scoring. I think our defenses are collectively too horrendous at the moment. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, Liverpool defense could improve by the time we play them, and we might not put anything past them. But as far as I see, there will be goals in this game. I don't know how many. I said 1-1. I think we will, for whatever reason, perform good in the game. But then I found out Michael Oliver's there, and I was like, man, I don't want to change my score because we should try and just keep it out of the referee's hands if possible. Simple as that.
That is not possible. Any
Yeah,
big
no.
game in England will not never be out of the referee's hand. They will make themselves heard and seen.
Yeah. 2-0 for Liverpool. Wirtz and Salah going to score. Bro, listen. Someone said it famously well. We play everybody into form. So it wouldn't be surprising to be to be honest. There'll be some rants on various United channels after the fact, but yeah, it wouldn't be surprising. You can't surprise the United fan anymore. Sadly, it's the magic's gone. We can only hope that we survive some of these fixtures. That's about it. But any parting thoughts about the game? Anything you'd like to say, Nadi, before we wrap
I
up?
think it will be a tough game for both sides. I think it will be a game where it can end up in a very cagey kind of game. Also, a lot of times that happens. By the way, there is so much talk about a game and it ends up in a very cagey kind of affair. That can happen.
Agreed.
I see a physical game on Sunday. Yaar. I think it will be all about uh, the physical battles will be a very important part of the game. I think whoever scores first will have a huge advantage.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think the especially at Anfield, if Liverpool score first, it's going to be unsurmountable pressure. To be honest, we are going to have to really. Ruben Amram's going to have to do some halftime magic if we are trailing at halftime. Honestly, because the atmosphere in Anfield, just the general atmosphere, everyone's going to be up for this game even more so. So yeah, I agree, completely agree. I think there'll be more of an advantage if Liverpool get the lead simply because obviously we are playing away. But yeah, we are going to have to really silence the crowd. We're going to have to be defensively solid again last year. And the problem with that is, I feel that I think our defenders overall were in better-ish form. I don't know. I feel we are very shaky right now. I mean, we did finish 15th, but I feel like the fact that he doesn't play Euro makes me nervous in general. So that is an issue for me personally. But anyway, guys, we have come to the end. Nidhi has not made a prediction. I did not know it was a superstition, by the way. I would not ask you, so I
Yeah,
apologize for that.
I
That is on
apologize.
me.
There's
No, no,
nothing to
because no,
apologize.
because the part is you say the wrong thing, and then people come to your channel and go ha ha ha. It's part of the game. Yeah, it's fun. It's
It's
okay.
not because of
Put
that.
yourself out there.
I have never
No,
predicted
no, I'm
anything.
saying I'm
It's
saying that's what
obviously-
we do. Now we like go to each other's channel. We say who's going to win, and when that prediction doesn't come, they come to the channel
Arey,
and they were like,
take his comment there. He's
what
this
the
mystics.
right back one? Hmm.
Okay, Mystic, if you answer this in the next 10 seconds, I'll take it. How many minutes has Frimpong played in the Premier League? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't. He's not, he's played 79 minutes. He's been injured since the time he's come in. Effed up in 79 minutes. If it's enough for you to judge a player, be my guest. I don't think we've effed up anything, right? I don't think we have done anything wrong. Also, Frimpong has been purchased more of as a right winger, right wing back kind of a profile, not exactly as a right back. So this is again one of those things. Yeah, I mean, thought experiment: Livramento, Pedro Porro, Joshua Kimmich. I can name five names, but the point is, you don't even know he's not played enough. He's not even played 90 minutes in the Premier League. So how is he a effed up signing? But the problem is that this is the thing I'm saying, right? You can't do anything right. You have Wirtz is a flop signing, Frimpong is a flop signing, Isak is a flop signing, Salah is done, Konate is done, this is done, that is done. Uska mein, I can't answer those things. You first check, like you have to at least, okay, I feel this about a certain player, right? I have to check at least, right? If I have to check my own bias, it would be me sitting on your chest about Cunha. When will Cunha score? When will Cunha score? Did United screw up that signing? Is he a bad player? Is he a flop player? Premier League से आया है, क्यों नहीं गोल मारा? Right? So,
Yeah,
but you have to understand that he was also injured. So,
yeah.
I mean, this is again you. But if it gives you happiness, ahead, please go ahead.
So, do you think he followed up, and we'll end with this? Do you think they should have gotten a different? Do you think they should have basically just gotten a right back? Let's put it in simple words. Let's not use fancy words. Do you think they should have
Who
just
was
got an out and
available?
out right back?
Who was
No,
available?
I don't know who's. I'm just asking. Means I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying a name. I'm not saying. Do you think they should have just gotten a right back?
We
What do you think?
so the reason for us getting Frimpong was it is an AFCON year and we needed a bit of a hybrid profile, and we
Hmm.
already have Connor Bradley coming through the ranks who had played very well last season. So that is the reason we didn't go for
I
a
liked
pure
him.
starting quality right back, because Connor Bradley was there. The problem is Connor Bradley himself has been injured. So
Injured.
that's why we didn't go for a pure right back, because we already have a pure right back in the team. So that's why
Very,
we
very,
went for a
very
slightly
impressed with
hybrid
Connor
profile.
Bradley. Yeah,
Yeah,
very,
so
very impressed with Connor Bradley. I thought he was fantastic whenever he came on. I thought he was really good for all things considered. I thought it was fantastic. Something about Kimmich moving away from Bayern. They want to move on from him because of his age. Bro, they played Thomas Muller till he was
he
55,
just
dude. Like, forget it,
he
bro.
just
Just
signed a
leave it.
new contract. He just signed a new contract till 2029, didn't he?
I mean, listen, there must be some internal murmurings then. That is, I guess we'll have to see that towards the end of the season, but it's fair enough. Uh, so, Nidhi, thank you once again for
Okay.
coming on. Uh, Guys, please, Menace and the Monk, obviously, it's tagged in the channel. Not that no one will be unaware of that. And of course, I mean, I would say this because I have to say it. I know he said he's going to go off of it, but follow at Bold Monk on Twitter, of course.
Don't.
Uh, I mean, I had to do it. I had to do it. I don't know if how active you're going to be on it, but yeah, for sure. Thank you once again, Nidhi. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Of course, like and share, subscribe to both channels, and I will see you in the next one. And hopefully we survive. We survive Anfield. Hopefully we survive Anfield.
I think you
Uh,
should be. I think you ought to be more confident given our form.
I mean, given the way we play our players, I feel you should be more confident. But yeah, fair enough. Anyway, guys, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Obviously, the watch alongs is follows tomorrow, and Sunday, obviously, the big Northwest Derby game. Do
Tomorrow
like, share,
what
and
watch?
subscribe.
Tomorrow
So
what
tomorrow
watch?
I'm doing I like to do others. I like to
Oh,
do bunch of watch alongs, but I'm doing the early kickoff. Chelsea
mhm.
Nottingham Forest. If you are free, feel free to join in. Yeah, I would love to have you. Absolutely, it would be great if you are free. Definitely drop in. I mean, if you're not busy, Saturday, obviously, you do other things with your life. But yeah, I'm just going to be watching. Yeah, but yes, I will check. I will see you guys tomorrow. Early kickoff. Take care. Thank you once again to Nadi, and we'll see you.
Bye bye.